Welcome to Totally Talent Podcast by HR.com, your go-to source for all things talent. Whether you're looking for expert insights on high-volume hiring, the latest trends in recruitment technology, or strategies for building a winning team, we've got you covered. Join us for each episode as we dive deep into the challenges and opportunities shaping the talent landscape today. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Totally Talent on HR.com. I am your host, Mike Wood, and I'm joined by one of my friends at Rival, Poornima Farrar. Poornima, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks for having me. Hi, everyone. Great to be here.
Thanks. So, can you just tell me a little bit about how you got involved with Rival and some of your background?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm the Chief Product Officer at Rival, and I have the privilege of working with some fantastic people at the company who have been serving HR and HR tech like myself for a very long time. My background over the last 15 or 20, give or take, years has really been, thinking deeply about how data and analytics and people intersect together, both in terms of software as well as the impact of software on businesses themselves. So I have had the privilege of working at some great organizations, including Alteryx, Workday, Salesforce, and now Rival.
That's fantastic. So, tell me a little bit about what Rival does.
Yeah, so we are an AI assisted software that really focuses on modularity to serve talent acquisition as well as talent management teams. We focus on everything from sourcing, candidate outreach, through pre-boarding, onboarding, and learning and performance technology. And across this gamut, what we find is that often TA teams need flexibility and agility that they don't always get from their existing systems. So they're looking for vendors that can come in and layer on top in a seamless way to essentially plug, not just plug the holes, but really make the whole system efficient and effective, both from a compliance perspective as well as from the overall scalability of the processes perspective. So at Rival, we work with everyone from small and medium businesses to Fortune 5 to really help scale their processes for a variety of use cases with this technology that we have.
Great, and you're not necessarily ripping out the ATS. You sit on top of the ATS and help it out, right?
We are both. So we do have a full ATS that combines sourcing, CRM, as well as the ATS capabilities alongside a pre-boarding automation and onboarding technology. But at the same time, we're also modular. So if you already have an existing ATS that you don't want to replace anytime soon, but are looking to serve, essentially fill some of those gaps in terms of sourcing or CRM or analytics or scheduling interviews, we can essentially come in and layer on top from that perspective. Same thing from a pre-boarding or onboarding automation layers as well.
So your colleague Anne Marie was she and I had worked together in a past job, and actually it's a lot of your people.
Yeah, that's right.
I have a big heart for the folks over at Rival. But she had talked to me about ROSI, your AI agent. Can you tell me a little bit about your AI agent and kind of what makes it different from other AI agents that we may have heard about?
Yeah, that's right. Happy to do that.
Yeah. So tell me about ROSI.
Yeah. So first of all, Anne Marie's fantastic. We have a fantastic marketing and product marketing team led by Anne Marie Corbett and John Bauer. They've spent a lot of time, understanding the market, listening to use cases, as well as working on really telling the story of what we're building, for our clients as well as the broader audience. ROSI is Rival OS Intelligence. And she is your assistant in all things talent acquisition and talent management. So how we have approached machine learning and AI at Rival is really to think about how we can put humans back in the seat of decision making and identify bottlenecks, surface insights, and assist with the day-to-day needs of an HR practitioner or a recruiter or a manager, so that they can then be their most effective and productive in the organization. So some examples on the talent acquisition side, right? When you're thinking about creating a role and and looking at different options, you want your AI to come in and just do that for you. When you're thinking about, once you have that role in place, who are the best people? Not the best people that just applied for that job. I'm not talking about post and pray, but who are the best people out there in the world that you might want to reach out to? Rosie can assist you with that. Um, how do you want to connect with them? What kind of messaging would you want to send to them? Rosie can come in and help you with that too. So essentially, it's bringing the tools to recruiters that they have always needed, um, and ensuring that there is an ability to address bias, an ability to ensure compliance, and really focus on accelerating productivity, from sourcing, outreach, um, uh, you know managing the funnel, as well as delivering on the insights itself. And that's really what Rosie is focused on, with some examples.
So I know that one of the big issues that I've seen kind of come through this year is fraud, and that's I think that's something that's going to be pretty heavy next year in terms of
Yep.
solutions trying to attack candidate fraud. So how should with all these fake resumes, and whatnot, what's your advice to TA leaders on how to navigate this?
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough market for a lot of people, right? They're seeing a stall in the labor market. It's hard to find the right talent, partly because the volume of applications is so high right now that it is almost impossible to really be able to get to um, the candidates that are the best for your organization. So on the one hand, you're dealing with volume. On the other hand, you're dealing with bad quality. And so, while creative writing of resumes is nothing new for recruiters, the fact that AI tools and bots have essentially turned it into a full-blown trend means that there's a sense of overwhelm that we do see, and we've seen data, um, that anywhere from 60 to 70 people make changes to their resume in at least once, in a way that isn't necessarily directly applicable to their actual experience. And at the same time, when you ask recruiters their confidence level in detecting these kind of things, 1 in 5 say they're able to confidently detect it, right? So these are stats that have been published by Resume Lab, by Equifax, by Standout CV. And so in that backdrop, what we find is that as these fake resumes are rising, what really matters to recruiters is to still make sure that they're connecting to the right candidates. And so a few ways in which we help at Rival, right? First, leverage the technology by essentially having basic bot prevention, by having ATS filters. So essentially, ensure that the automated submissions are blocked by having the right tools enabled on your career site. You can also combine it with pre-submission acceptance statement or custom fields that can create a clear audit trail. And those are good ways to essentially ensure that the application gets through. And it doesn't mean you have to create a whole login system, right? Which is so much more where we clearly see applicant drops. But there are ways to leverage technology without that. Beyond that, there's also screening. There's the resume verification, actually applying skill-based assessments to test those claims, as well as partnering with third-party verification providers. So Rival does all of these to support our clients in order to ensure that they have the best practices to stay ahead. And I would encourage teams to work through this as well, and essentially make sure that they are spotting those common fraud tactics, but also ensuring that their technology is working on their behalf to minimize the volume of fake resumes that are getting through in the first place.
All right, I'm going to say something that sounds like a LinkedIn sage or whatever. You can call it BS all you want, but I feel like compliance, like because you mentioned audit trails, so I feel like compliance has never been more difficult in the amount of stuff that you have to adhere to. But at the same time, we've never had as many tools as we had to make sure that you're compliant. So I'm assuming that the Rival helps
Yeah.
with compliance.
Yes, in fact, that has been our bread and butter for 20 years at this point, right? We not only make sure that compliance is critical to the underlying flow, we also make sure that all the work that is being done is within the system is fully transparent. So the audit trails are built. You don't have to go, digging for them. The notifications that need to go out from recruiters to candidates can be automated. The flows are in place to ensure that there's checks and balances across the entire candidate and employee lifecycle, because it's such a critical part of how an organization works.
So I am going to step outside of recruiting now for a second and just what's the best part of your job?
It's the people, right? Like the best part of my job is the people that I work with. I think um, uh, at Rival, everybody's very passionate about HR tech. Um, and we think every day about how we're going to make the overall system better. We're not just interested in incremental improvements. We really think, both as a leadership team as well as a product organization, in collaboration with various departments like marketing and CS, at how are we going to transform this industry, uh, not just for today, but future proofing for the organizations. One example is coming up with essentially how we think about our products themselves. Instead of just saying, okay, like we're going to maintain this silo of a recruit ATS solution or an onboarding solution, we essentially stepped back and said, no, we actually need our products to be more modular and plug and play with different systems out there. Um, and one of the things that we found as part of that was that the number one pain point for HR organizations across the board that no one's talking about enough is that they don't have enough self-service tools that are for HR organizations. And it led us to essentially pivot our entire product from Rival onboarding to Rival workflow, because we realized we really need to build a tool and a system that allows people to think through their entire processes and just scale globally with confidence that they can make updates themselves instead of always having to hire third party organizations or reach out across multiple departments for a small change that needs to be made. So the best part of my job is just really thinking through meaningful transformations for our industry.
Well, that's great. I'm a big fan of you guys, and I look forward to seeing what you guys do in the next year as you kind of come out and are more visible in the space. So thank you for joining me on Totally Talent. I look forward to talking with you more. And if people want to find you, I assume they go to LinkedIn, right?
Yes, they can come to LinkedIn, and find us at Rival, or go to rival-hr.com.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks for tuning in to the Totally Talent podcast by HR.com. We hope you find today's episode insightful and inspiring. Don't forget to explore more episodes and discover valuable resources at hr.com/podcasts, where you can listen to all of our podcasts. Until next time, keep leading with purpose and making a difference in the world of talent.